I thought they told me there's no evidence that Jesus of Nazareth ever walked the earth. Ever. No, the Bible is true, no this. So there's a new evidence now of the Shroud of Turin. Please, I'm nobody in this earth. I'm not a professional, nor speaking, nor anything. But please, what is this? What is this? Watch this mini clip.
The Shroud of Turin is one of the most studied and controversial artifacts in history. It is also one of the most important in the Catholic Church. The linen cloth that is said to be the burial garment of Jesus has been revered by many popes, especially in modern times. In 2010, Pope Benedict XVI spent several minutes praying in front of the shroud, and so did Pope Francis in 2015. Now, new scientific discoveries have been made.
See this image here? How did that image appear? How did this image appear? Let me show you this. You see this image? That's the cloth, and beside it looks like a negative. How can that be? Even if it's medieval times, okay, in medieval times there wasn't this kind of negative or photography or nothing of technology to do this. Please. Look at this. Look at this. The formation of the shroud's image will take several billion watts. See? Several billion watts of light radiation, which exceeds the maximum output of any source of UV radiation known today. If the accompanying heat energy had been present, the cloth would have vaporized in less than 1/40th billionth of a second. See? Several billion watts. Huh? Hello, everybody. Listen, many people that watch my videos, I stopped doing videos because I thought, I was making entertainment. And listen, I had the opportunity maybe to or make money or try. I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't want likes, I don't want subscriptions. I just want the people to see a normal person from the Rock of Gibraltar that we not even known worldwide. What happened to me? No religion came to my door. Nobody's brainwashed me. I was a drug addict. Many times in prison. Stupid things. Listen. I shouted. My knees. My house. Something devastating that happened to me. And then all this archaeology started to come out. I never searched for anything. So I thought to myself, I'm not doing this for entertainment. I do these videos in Facebook for the people of my country as well. We are only 30,000 people in my country, and nobody's doing this. So everything that happened to me, and I'm sharing it with people that were like me, people that were in the dark. And I'm nobody. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a special man. I'm nothing. Look at the way I talk, it's normal. But listen. What about this evidence? And I did 2 years ago a small video with a phone about this. Listen, look at this. Let me put it a bit bigger. See, Italian chemist Giulio Fanti of the University of Padua has produced the image might have been burnt into the upper layers of the cloth by a burst of radiant energy, bright light, ultraviolet light, X-rays, or streams of fundamental particles. Eh? Let's watch a bit more. And I'm not saying that this is the authentic Christ or whatever, but how did this image that looks like a negative from a photograph, appear in this cloth when the image was different? See, this is the real image. You hardly see anything there. See, and this man, the early 80s, took a photograph, and that image appeared like a negative. This one. And listen, the marks that he has in the body. I want to show you something now.
Been made, confirming that the cloth does date back to the time of Jesus. The Institute of Crystallography in Italy conducted a new X-ray dating method on a portion of the linen. The results showed the cloth is significant.
See, you can see actually the face and the marks. See, and the puncture here in the side. A bit back. You see the puncture. You know, he has all the marks of what Jesus suffered. Okay? So, how did that negative come out after a photograph? Even if it's in medieval times, they didn't have that equipment.
The results showed the cloth is significantly older than what was found in a
Hello?
dating test conducted in 1988. The new results revealed the shroud is indeed a 2,000-year-old relic, as believed by Christian tradition.
See, from this fabric, they did like a microscope, I don't know, I call it a wax something, you know, and it was similar to a cloth with a similar linen threads in Masada, you know, that's in the Middle East. What? What's going on here?
But this new discovery isn't the only reason why the shroud is back in the news. It has also inspired a new artificial intelligence image of Jesus. This image, based on the face of Jesus.
They've got the Shroud of Turin and they used artificial intelligence to see the face of Christ. Artificial intelligence. I don't think no artificial intelligence on anything is going to get the right face of Christ till he comes in his second coming. God doesn't want us to use a cloth for worshiping. Listen, even if he is, I'm not going to worship that cloth just because it's the authentic Christ. No way. No way.
In the shroud has gone viral across social media networks and matches traditional depictions. The Shroud of Turin was first discovered in 1354 and currently resides in the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in Turin, Italy.
Mystery of the shroud, you know. But to get that imprint of several billion watts of light of radiation to make that. And it has to do it in 1/40 billionth of a second, or else it will vaporize of the amount of energy. No, look at this. A new study by Italian scientists find the shroud does indeed date back to the time of Jesus Christ. For centuries, debate has raged over whether the Shroud of Turin is in fact the original burial shroud of Jesus Christ after his crucifixion after 2,000 years. As he says in the book of John, when Joseph of Arimathea asked Pilate for the body of Jesus, you know, with Pilate's permission, they came, take the body away. Nicodemus brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes. They, taking Jesus' body, the two of them wrapped it in strips of linen. See? You think that is? Researchers in Italy announced a new discovery regarding a linen cloth some believe was the burial shroud of Jesus Christ. The team examined a sample from the Shroud of Turin and determined that it could be 2,000 years old. Newsweek reported, citing a study published in the journal Heritage. I don't know that journal, what it is, or I don't know. It shows that within a short time of burial, an event occurred when the body was floating inside the shroud, which was held flat, and the image on the shroud was produced. This should be considered as evidence to the resurrection. See? Evidence to the resurrection of Jesus. See? Because what dead body produce anything? It's dead. So, if that produce what this is saying, several billion watts to make what we see here. See, let's put this back, because it's fascinating. This one. You know, to get this image from that cloth to this image. How can that be? Look. See the controversial new shroud. Oh my God. But listen, let's go all the way down here. See, However, a 2022 study that took X-rays of the shroud has recently been widely circulated. Italian scientist Liberato De Carlo reportedly proved it matched a related fabric from Masada, Israel, used 20 years after Christ's presumed death. See what I mean? This shroud, look at the cloth, and then they get this. They make a photograph and this comes out. Sorry, what dead body makes this amount of energy if it's dead? Or is this the proof of Jesus' resurrection? What do you think? Is the Shroud of Turin real? New evidence suggests cloth may date to the times of Jesus. It's making every news. It's making every news. The linen cloth of the shroud, believed by some to have wrapped the body of Jesus following his crucifixion, may date back around the time of his death. See, the new X-ray technique to calculate the cloth could be around 2,000 years old. So, even if it's in medieval times, how did it get this? How? See, the research of 1978 STOP investigation, as well as subsequent research of Jackson, Fanti, Paolo Di Larazzo, and their teams showed the likelihood that sometime after the blood deposit had dried on the shroud, the decomposing body in the shroud emitted a short, intense burst of vacuum ultraviolet radiation that led to a dehydration and discoloration of the frontal and dorsal parts of the shroud, giving rise to a perfect photographic negative image. Eh? You know, what's... Come on, listen. You get any other religion and the outstanding amount of evidence that Jesus never walked the earth. He didn't exist. It's a tradition of hope. Here it says they wrapped him in strips of linen. But it also says that at the place where Jesus was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden a new tomb, which no one had ever been laid. Eh? Listen. I want to show you this. Okay, look at this, please. This is the Roman flagrant. Okay, see the points there? Those two balls, or bearings at the end. It's the same marks as you see here. See, same marks as you see there. See, every mark has like two bearings marks and a line in between them. That's what you see with a Roman flagrant. This here. See? This is a close-up. Look at that. Look at this. You see? Same marks as the ball bearings at the end. See? This is what Christ was suffering when they beat him there. How can that be? How can that be? See, that's the beating he receives. Those are the marks there. So we have the marks, the shroud, and the famous Pontius Pilate coins in the shroud that you can search yourselves. Okay? You search yourselves. Pontius Pilate didn't exist. We have everything that was founded, his stela with Tiberius Caesar and his name. Pontius Pilate coins. His ring, you know. We have Golgotha. See? In that place of the skull where they crucified him. And it says that beside it, there must be a garden with a new tomb. Here. See? Now there was a garden in the place where Jesus was crucified. And in the garden, a new tomb. This is beside this. And you see the tomb. You see the rolling stone from the tomb. And the Roman seal. Remember the Roman seal? Because they told Pontius Pilate they were going to steal his body. Well, they put a Roman seal, a nail at the very end. And the story is that the angel Gabriel comes, pushes the stone, breaks the nail, breaks the seal. So if it breaks the nail, half of the nail must be in the wall. And that's the picture you can see at the bottom right and at the top left. But there is no evidence So this man, archaeologist, Ron Wyatt, see, found those cutouts in the wall where they put the signs when they crucified Christ in the Mount of Golgotha. Here. See what I mean? So he started to dig and dig and dig and dig. And he found, you see there at the top right corner, the cross holes where they put the cross. So he started to dig and dig and dig. And the story is that he found the Ark of the Covenant down there in a cave. So when the Bible said that they pierced his side and there was an earthquake, his blood and water went all the way down where the earthquake made a crack, and on top of the Ark of the Covenant, and a new covenant was formed. The age of grace. See, that's the story. But there's no archaeology. Although the pool of Siloam was discovered in Israel, where Jesus heals the blind man. And there's no. Yeah. I wonder if there, from any other religion or anything, so much evidence in archaeology. You know, God shall spring the truth out of the earth. Says in the book of Psalms. I wonder why. I wonder if this is him. See, I don't know. I've shown you the marks of the flagrants. This amount of energy that must come out from there. Several billion watts. See, Italian chemist Giulio Fanti says that the image might have been burnt into the upper layers of the cloth by a burst of radiant energy. A shroud fiber from the wrist of the image, see, the background haze, was caused by electromagnetic radiation. So how? Even if it's in the middle, in medieval times. See, the image of the shroud is due to the 34 trillion watts of lightning emitting in a split of a second by the body of Jesus Christ on Holy Saturday. 34 trillion watts of lightning to make that image in a split second for the cloth to don't vaporize. I don't know. But you can see, like, you know, blood from his head, from the crown of thorns, all this body marked by the flagrants. I've just shown you here. You know, Roman flagrant. Yeah, you can see the marks. Yep. So, I thought they told me there wasn't any evidence that all this is real. How can that be? And then we have all the evidence in archaeology of the Old Testament of the Jews. You know, Mount Sinai, the metallurgy of the Ark of the Covenant in that mountain, the golden calf, you know, the altar at the foot of the mountain, the split rock, cave of Elijah, the oasis of Elim, the Red Sea crossings. Oh my. See, we have Noah's Ark. Even evidence for the pillar of fire in the sand in the Red Sea. Sodom and Gomorrah. Hey. See Noah's Ark. The mountains of Ararat in the same location, the Bible says. And the same length, the Bible says. And the anchor stone just a few meters to the side of the skeleton there. It's not, you know, they're going to fight till the death. You know. Yep. So there's no evidence of nothing. Yep. I wonder why. I don't know why the people don't want Jesus Christ to exist. Brings a new creation. All the bad stuff goes. Cancer, AIDS, everything. No more children die. Don't know why people don't want that. Absolutely no idea. No. Don't understand. Wow. 34 trillion watts of lightning emitted in a split of a second by the body of Jesus Christ. That's the... Listen, we could be here having the proof of the resurrection, but we live in a day that, listen, even if Jesus comes through the clouds, they'll probably say, it's a projector, an illusion. Yeah. So, listen, I'm going to start doing a few more videos of the things I'm finding out. It's all about the archaeology to change people. Look what's going on in the world. Riots everywhere, the problem with immigration, people are not even looking at the backgrounds. you know, and radical groups are using that route to infiltrate and do damage because they have a belief, you know, to destroy. That's their ticket to paradise. That's the way, their way. So, love you all. See you. Good night. And bye-bye now. Take care. God bless every single one of you. If you don't believe, if you're laughing at me, I don't mind. I love you. Anyway.